Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
Swing and a miss, and Gibson gets a strikeout. Got it. Swing and a miss. It's good to be Kyle Gibson today.
Kyle Gibson hoping it's good for him today. Still looking for consistency in his second full season in the bigs. And today he will take on the Brewers in Game 2 of this interleague set. This Twins-Brewers series on Fox Sports North is presented by North Dakota Tourism. We welcome you inside Miller Park on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. I'm Jamie Hirsch. Kyle Gibson is trying to get back to that commanding pitcher we saw him be earlier this season. He is winless in his last 5 starts, which includes a loss to the Brewers earlier this month. In that start at Target Field, Gibson allowed 5 runs off 3 home runs, all in the first 3 innings. Then he proceeded to settle down for 4 scoreless innings while striking out a career-high 9 batters. But it was too late at that point. He was tagged for the loss. And I asked his pitching coach, Neil Allen, how Gibson can get back to his early season form.
He was very aggressive earlier in the year. He's gotten away from his aggressiveness with his two-seam fastball especially. He's trying to do too much with the four-seam fastball right now. He's trying to spot it up, and it's getting him in trouble at this point in time right now. He's lost the aggressiveness with his two-seam fastball, and we're hoping to get back to that today and be more aggressive in the zone with his two-seam fastball.
Gibson will hope for some more run support today than he's gotten lately. That could come from Brian Dozier. We'll explain why he's second to none next.
Is presented by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Ram. Come discover great deals during the Ram Drive and Discover event. By Bud Light, stay in the game and drink responsibly. And by Luther Nissan Kia, 2 locations, one very low price. The roof is open here at Miller Park in Milwaukee. Game 2 between the Twins and the Brewers. And while the Twins have not enjoyed the month of June, Brian Dozier has 26 hits, half of them for extra bases. He, of course, is in the lineup and playing second base for the Twins here this afternoon. And it is a good Saturday afternoon. Dick and Bert with you for Game 2 between the Twins and the Brewers. Winning teams, of course, have very good pitching, but they also have position players that are an asset to their team, both at the plate and in the field. And nobody fits that example better for the Twins than their second baseman, Brian Dozier.
Yeah, and I think we saw it started last year, the second half. Brian Dozier, who led the club in home runs last year with 23. He's taken it right to the next level, and that's what you want a young player to do. So far this year, you can see where he ranks as far as runs, home runs, extra base hits, and most importantly, driving in runs. So Brian Dozier, a big part no matter where you put in the lineup, but here this afternoon, he'll be leading off again.
For some reason, the Twins have had a terrible time with the Brewers. Hope to keep them in the ballpark today, and hopefully will still win this series in Milwaukee.
Pretty boy. And boy, is he pretty good at baseball.
Brian Dozier sends one into the upper deck.
The 5'11", 200-pound emerging leader of the Twins. You know his swagger, his smile, his sizzle. You know his highlights and the hair. You know he's beloved by his coaches and teammates.
Dozier with a stop, comes up firing. What a play! That might be his best play of the year. Brian Dozier walks off the White Sox.
More freedom and flair than fear and awe. Seduced by promise, captivated by his potential. We know where Brian Dozier has been. Where does he go from here?
Well, the hope is Brian Dozier, who will spend part of the month of June in Cincinnati, will spend part of the month of July in Cincinnati as well.
Yeah, we hope so.
Twins go to Cincinnati after tomorrow's game here in Milwaukee. The Menards batting order for the Twins as they hope to win this series against Milwaukee. Brian Dozier, Eddie Rosario batting second, Joe Mauer, Trevor Plouffe, Torrey Hunter, Chris Herman, Eduardo Escobar, the pitcher, batting 8th, Kyle Gibson, and then Danny Santana rejoins the lineup as the shortstop and 9th place hitter.
And for the second time this month, the Twins will be facing Matt Garza. He pitched against them back on June 6th in Minnesota. Ended up winning that ball game 4-2. Garza pitched 7 very good innings, only allowed 1 run, no walks with 3 strikeouts. He's making his 16th start of the year. Excuse me, 15 starts, 16th game.
Brewers out in the field. Shane Peterson getting left field today. Carlos Gomez in center. Gerardo Parra in right. Ramirez Segura left side of the infield. Jeanette Lynn right side. Lucroy back behind the plate. Paul Molitor returning to the city that was his home city for most of his Hall of Fame career. And Paul brought up an interesting point today in meeting with the media. Somebody asked him about the start of the season. He says, yeah, but you know what? Good teams find a way to get better in the final 3 months of the year. And that'll be the challenge for the Twins. It's been a fun first 3 months, and who knows what's going to happen for the balance of this year. But if the Twins are going to stay relevant and perhaps get into postseason play, they'll have to find a way to have a better second half than first half.
And they have to find a way to get to where they were in May when they were 20-7 on the month. So here's start here this afternoon against Matt Garza, former Twin, former #1 pick by the Twins back in 2005 out of Fresno State.
First pitch lifted foul and out of play. Now I partially misspoke before when I said the roof was open, when in fact it is half closed. You will see the shadow cutting the field in half, and they do this on purpose as they want the pitcher to be completely in the shadows.
Everything for the hitters.
Dozier with a bunt up the third baseline. Ramirez barehands it and has no chance. Dozier, who started the game with a home run last night, starts this game with a bunt single.
He does such a good job of getting on base and scoring runs. And we're Ramirez playing a deep third. Brian just laying down the ball, and perfect bunt, because when that ball had a lot of spin on it, it kind of sucked right there, almost like you'd like your little golf ball to do on a green. So Brian hustling down in that box gets a bunt base hit.
And it might not be the last bunt, as we discussed when Garza pitched against the Twins in Minnesota. He has a phobia about throwing to first base, and the Twins might want him to handle the ball as much as possible in their hopes of beating him. Here this afternoon, swing and a miss by Rosario.
That kind of shades of John Lester when the Cubs were in town.
Now that applies to base stealers as well. Dozier is a base stealer. He's at first. We'll see whether he takes off for second base.
Dozier with 6 stolen bases and 8 attempts. Garza pretty quick home.
Outside, 1-1. And I think Dozier, after seeing a couple of pitches now, wants to go. And we'll see whether he's given the sign to go.
Yeah, there's been 4 stolen bases and 7 attempts against Matt Garza so far this year. No pickoffs.
One and one. And a step off. But in all likelihood, you will not see a throw.
Now, Garza has all 4 pitches. Good fastball in the low 90s, slider, curveball, changeup. 2 seasons he wore a Twins uniform in 2006 and 2007.
And there's another bunt attempt. This one foul, 1-2. When Garza faced the Twins in Minnesota earlier this month, he retired the first 11 batters. And Dozier's aboard with a leadoff single here in the first in the rematch. 1-2 to Rosario. High pop up behind second base. Gomez coming in. Gomez with
a little deep,
trying to decoy Dozier. 1 down.
Well, one thing for Matt Garza, this is his 5th career start against the Twins. He has always pitched pretty well against the former organization that signed him. Gomez trying to say that he lost that ball, but Dozier did not take the bait.
He may have decoyed his left fielder and right fielder. He did not decoy the base runner.
And believe me, as a pitcher, when you see that, you start to back up third right away.
Here's Mauer. Strike on the outside corner. Used to seeing Joe's on base percentage around 400 instead of 330.
Yeah, Mauer 4 for 6 in his meetings against Matt Garza.
Just outside, just missed the outside edge. 1-1. Scott Berry with plate duty. Lance Barrett at first. Gabe Morales, Dan Isanya on the bases.
Isanya, the veteran here, the crew chief at third base. He had the plate last night. Scott Berry, 7-year veteran.
2-1.
I mentioned Garza has had success against the Twins in his 4 previous starts. He's 2-1 with a 1.65 earned run average against the Twins. 27 1/3 innings pitched in those 4 starts. Only 5 earned runs allowed, with 26 strikeouts.
Three and 1. Garza had a good game against the Twins. It came after a relief appearance. And then in his last 2 starts now against the Royals and against the Rockies, a total of 12 innings pitched, 13 earned runs allowed. So he's not coming into this start against the Twins with a lot of momentum. Dozier takes off. Pitch is called a strike, and Dozier is out at second base.
Well, Lucroy did the right thing. He threw it on the second base side. Jeanette, the second baseman, catches it and then tags out with the quick tag of Brian Dozier, who's sliding in head first. So a good strong throw. But that ball's on the shortstop side. Brian Dozier's safe, but instead the quick tag.
Yeah.
And Dozier's called out.
3-2 now to Mauer. And he takes a walk. And that'll bring up Trevor Plouffe. Plouffe with a home run last night in a losing cause.
Yeah, Trevor hitting his 10th home run. That made it a 10-4 ball game at that time, and that's what the final score was last night as the Twins lost to the Brewers. Ten home runs for Trevor Plouffe. 8 of them at Target Field. 2 here, or 2 against the on the road.
Hit to right field, and retreating is Parra, and he makes the catch short of the wall. Twins get a bunt single and a walk, but do no more run scoring against Garza in the first. The team that he grew up watching. His father was an employee of the Brewers for many years, taking over for the fired Ron Renicky. And the Brewers batting order for game 2. Gerardo Parra leading off. Jonathan Lucroy batting second. Then Carlos Gomez. Adam Lynn, Aramis Ramirez, Shane Peterson. Then Gene Segura, Scooter Gennett, and Matt Garza.
And they line up facing Kyle Gibson. For Kyle, he's making his 15th start of the year, his second against the Brewers. We kind of highlighted it in the pregame. He struggled against the Brewers in Minnesota, gave up 3 home runs in the first 3 innings, was down 5-0, but the Twins came back and tied the game. After that, from the 4th to the 7th, Gibson pitched outstanding.
Yeah, retired the last 13 guys he faced. Parra will lead things off. Started the game with a home run last night, and that's been the biggest issue for the Twins pitching staff in this season series with Milwaukee. They've given up 7 home runs in 4 games. Now this is a Twins team that coming into play today, 73 games played, 73 home runs allowed, and that is a 1 home run per game average.
Very good.
Allowed.
Very good. Right off the get-go.
But in the Milwaukee series, it's been almost 2 home runs. Almost. 1 strike to Parra. Check swing, 1-1.
Well, Neil Allen sat down with us before the ball game about Kyle Gibson. What does he want to see from Kyle Gibson today? He wants to see more ground ball outs. How does he do that? The 2-seam fastball. Trust the 2-seam fastball. Said he's been trying to throw too many 4-seam fastballs, trying to overpower the hitter. And when we have seen Gibson at his best, a lot of ground ball outs because of the good 2-seam, which is a sinking fastball.
And pitching ahead of the count rather than behind in the count. Choppers. Dozier to his right, backhands and fires one away.
Great example right there. Good ground ball out.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Eduardo Escobar in left field. And Eddie Rosario in center field. Torrey Hunter in right. Plouffe, Santana, Dozier, Bauer, the infielders, and Chris Herman gets a chance to catch Kyle Gibson.
What's the difference between a 4-seam and a 2-seam? Well, 4-seam's pretty straight. That's what an infielder, outfielder wants to throw. But that last pitch, take a look right here. Down, working on top, and then that little bit of sink down and away creates a ground ball out. That's Gibson at his best.
Now, purists would say that in reality, there's only one seam, one never-ending seam on a baseball. It just goes around and around, and it never starts, it never ends. Just one seam.
Well, it's the grip that you throw on a 2-seamer compared to the 4-seamer that creates the spin that will hopefully tail down and away to a left-handed hitter, into a right hand.
Falling behind Lucroy, 2-0.
Yeah, there were also these people that said a ball can't travel 500 feet.
And you proved that wrong.
I proved that wrong.
And a strike, 2-1. All right, what do you call the big yellow thing down the right field line? Is that a fair pole or a foul pole?
That is a fair pole.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, they call it a foul pole, but if it hits it, it's still fair. So it should be a fair pole. How about you?
It's a foul pole. Liner to Plouffe, 2 down.
Well, Kyle Gibson has struggled in interleague play. This is his 9th career interleague start. He is 1-6 with a 5.63 earned run average. He's making his 3rd career start against the Brewers in interleague play, and he's 0-1 with a 6.23 ERA. He pitched here last year, lost 6-2 to his mound opponent here this afternoon, Matt Garza.
Carlos Gomez will hit. Chopper foul. And while Gibson is winless in the month of June, 0-3, he is trending in the right direction in terms of earned runs allowed. In his first start this month, he gave up 5 earned runs. Next start 4, next start 3, next start 2. So I've got him down for just 1 run allowed here today.
I hope so. And at least go 7. A lot of guys used out of that bullpen last night after the short start of Trevor May. But, yeah, Gibson, he's also had only over his last 3 starts. He's lost all 3, but only 4 runs of support.
And now another 2-1 count. Gibson, as we said just a few moments ago, any pitcher is better when they're pitching ahead on the count 1-2 rather than 2-1.
One thing Kyle has said, he is still having trouble locating that slider down and away. He has it at times, but then, that slider will end up hurting him by getting behind in the count.
Paul Molitor said of Gibson, he wishes that he would be more aggressive in the strike zone. In other words, throw more strikes instead of trying to hit the corners and the edges of the strike zone. Go ahead and let your pitches and movement allow you to pitch effectively in the strike zone. Sharp ground ball scooped up by Santana over to Mauer, and it's a 1-2-3 first for Gibson.
All throughout Miller Park. He's got his own plaque on the Wall of Honor. He's got a parking lot and a conference room named after him. And he was one of the first 4 members to receive a marker here on the Walk of Fame right outside Miller Park. A 15-year career, a Hall of Fame career, and 2/3 of his 3,300 hits. They don't forget you in this town, even if you go on to manage a rival team.
Well, thank you, Jamie. That number 4 displayed very high in the roof structure here at Miller Park. Torrey Hunter takes inside ball 1. Paul told an interesting story, and he was not with the team when it happened, but he worked an awful lot with Pedro Florimon while Pedro was in the minor leagues and trying to harness the talent, at least defensively, that Florimon had. Here's a drive to center field. It's deep. Gomez going back and on the warning track. Twins have hit about 5 of those in this series. Out number 1.
Yeah, 400 feet straight away center. Gomez needed all of that room to catch that deep fly ball off the bat of Torrey Hunter.
And Molitor's number 4 retired here by the Brewers back in 1999. And when Florimon was with the major league club, the Twins, and when they made his first trip here, they played the Brewers here, of course, at Miller Park, and Florimon looked up at the number 4, Molitor, and said, "I didn't know he played for Milwaukee." Which is a little humbling.
I'm surprised he knew Paul played.
All he knew of Paul was that he was, trying to help him in the minor leagues get to the big leagues. Here's Chris Herman. And a ball fouled back. Oh, 0-2 to the Twins catcher. Twins got a couple of base runners on in the first, but never got a runner to second, and Herman's called out for out number 2.
And Garza picks up his first strikeout. Well, a career that started back in 1978 to 1992 for Paul Molitor. You can see where he ranks on the Brewers greats.
Behind Robin Yount on a lot of those in a lot of those categories, and it's really odd. We don't see it so much now, and it was even rarer back then. This is a small market team here, and those two Hall of Fame careers were kind of concurrently run. Paul went elsewhere to Toronto and then to the Twins, but Yount spent his whole career with the Milwaukee Brewers.
1-2 punch.
Yeah, imagine a smaller market having two future Hall of Famers for all those years. Here's a ball hit to left center. And Peterson on the warning track makes another catch. So 1-2-3 second for Matt Garza. Cold hard facts this afternoon brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Kyle Gibson's been very good going back to his last 10 starts.
I think most important thing is right there, not only the earned run average, but the innings pitched, averaging just over 6 innings per start.
It's a beautiful day here in Milwaukee, but weather's been an issue elsewhere in baseball. The Indians Baltimore game tonight has already been postponed. The White Sox Detroit game this afternoon has been postponed. And more importantly for the Twins, the Rochester Red Wings game tonight has been postponed. That's important to the Twins because they'd like to get a pretty good look at Aaron Hicks in center field and at the plate. Hicks could come up as soon as Monday in Cincinnati to help the big league club out, but he's only played one game last night as a designated hitter. And with both Hicks and Buxton out, Rosario gets the start in center field. 2-1.
Saw Adam Lynn pick up his 1,000th major league hit in last night's ball game. Picked up a couple hits. He did the most damage against Gibson in that start in Minnesota. He hit that big 3-run home run. The other 2 home runs solo. Lind in his first season with the Brewers, 9 seasons with the Blue Jays. Signed as a free agent, traded over the winter.
Chop foul. Lind, Ramirez, and Peterson in the second inning facing Kyle Gibson. Swinging a foul, and Herman hangs on and makes the long throw to his shortstop, Danny Santana. Our Carsoup.com trivia question this afternoon in interleague play: which Brewer has the most home runs against the Twins? Since interleague play started, this has been the rivalry matchup for both teams, the Brewers and Twins.
Since 1997.
We've talked about this before. Other than the geographical rivalry that you've got, Wisconsin, Minnesota, two bordering states. When you played for the Twins, was there a little added edge to the rivalry with the Brewers? Because as a fan, I honestly wasn't aware of that if it was the case at all.
There was on the player side, especially in the early 70s. We had some rhubarbs with the Brewers that ended up we didn't like each other.
Okay,
put it that way.
2 strikes.
Back then you played each other, I think 12 times, or maybe a little bit more, maybe more than that. Saw a lot of the Brewers.
And of course, they used to be in the American League, and that's kind of odd how it turned out. We end up now with 15 teams in each league. But to get there, the Brewers, longtime American League team, had to go to the National League, and the Astros had to go from the National League to the American League. Swing and a miss. Ramirez strikes out.
There's a good slider right there by Gibson. So he got ahead in the count. And then you put that hitter on the defense. So Ramirez swings at this hard slider down and away. Almost looked like a changeup. I might have to retract that. That was a good pitch, whatever it was. As Gibson picks up his second strikeout.
Here's Peterson. And a strike.
Now Ryan Braun not in the lineup. That opens the door for Shane Peterson to play left field as Parra moves from left to right. Peterson, in his first season with the Brewers, started the season down in AAA. Their AAA affiliate is Colorado Springs. He was hitting well down there, hitting .320 actually in 47 ball games. Got the call up. He did face Kyle Gibson in Minnesota, struck out 3 times.
1-2. Gibson strikes out the side in the second.
Kyle Gibson will lead off the third for the Twins. He does have a hit at Miller Park. It was his first major league hit back on June 2nd of last year, and it was against Matt Garza. Nothing spectacular, as you'll see, just a little bloop single into right, but still special for him to get a hit as a pitcher. Although he did say It was a good learning experience because he ended up having to run the bases a bit, which he said was fun, but it distracted him, and he ended up giving up a home run in the bottom half of that inning. So he said he learned that day that as fun as hitting can be for a pitcher, his first job is to pitch well, and that is his focus going forward in interleague play.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie.
Takes a strike from Garza. And now a chopper, and Garza's going to have to throw to first. He barehands it and makes an on-target throw, getting Gibson by a step. A swinging bunt, and Garza was able to make the play this time.
Yeah, what Garza does right here, watch him. He picks up the ball and then makes sure that he sets and makes a good strong throw over to Adam Lind. They didn't try to hurry it. They made sure he had something on it.
Danny Santana in the starting lineup this afternoon. Was here with the team last night. Made a pinch hitting appearance. And he threatens to bunt, takes a strike.
Yeah, Ramirez, the third baseman, was already in on the grass, and he's going to come in a little bit more. But what that does right there, it cuts down the range of Ramirez. You can see him right in the sun in the shade.
0-2. Paul Molitor cautioned everybody that, of course, it's different in the big leagues than it is in AAA. Santana did respond to his demotion with better at bats. Chopper up the middle, scooped up by Segura. 2 down. And that'll bring up Brian Dozier. 4 games this season against the Brewers, and Brian Dozier has been a T-Mobile game changer, hitting .438, 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in, and he scored 4 runs. He dropped down a bunt single to start the ball game here this afternoon. Later in the first inning, was thrown out trying to steal. Brewers employ a pull shift in the infield for Dozier. Right side of the infield pretty wide open. Slow chopper to Ramirez, and 3 ground ball outs. Nothing hit hard in the inning. 7 in a row sent down by Garza. Meanwhile, Kyle Gibson has 2 perfect innings so far this afternoon.
By Century Link, your link to what's next. By NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here.
Game time temperature about 70 degrees. The middle game of 3. The Brewers have won 3 of the 4 earlier games between these two teams. Kyle Gibson's been very good. 6 up, 6 down, and now he faces Gene Segura. Strike on the outside corner. Segura, Jeanette, and then Matt Garza here in the 3rd. One and one. Twins with 6 straight games in National League parks played by National League rules. From here the Twins go to Cincinnati. The bunt, foul, and then they'll be done with the National League style play for this year. And it is a significant thing for managers to be able to, American League managers, to be done with that part of the schedule, so you don't have to be concerned with it in August and September.
Yeah, the only other National League team that the Twins will play are the Pirates, and they come to Minnesota for a 2-game series.
Up high, 2-2. Segura hit a home run against Gibson to start the ball game in Minnesota. Two and 2. Chopper to short. Chest high hop for Santana. Oh, terrible throw.
He had plenty of time to make a good throw and just airmailed it over the head of Joe Mauer into the stands. So Segura will get second base on the 2-base error by Santana. That is his 13th error of the year.
Most of them have come on throws.
I mean, feels it nicely, sets himself up, and see him get underneath that ball a little bit.
So the leadoff man is at second on a 2-base error. Here's Scooter Gennett. Santana had just 1 error at short in Rochester. Did play 1 game in center field. Gennett's job here, try to at least get Segura up to third base. Breaking ball off the outside corner.
Yeah, a lot of times in this situation you might see the bunt put on to get Segura over to third, but you have the pitcher in the National League on deck.
And 2-0.
At 25 years old, started the season as a second baseman for the Brewers. The first month and a half was hitting only 150. Ended up getting sent down to AAA. Hit well there, just recalled.
Gibson spins, doesn't throw, with Santana cutting behind Segura. Two and 0 to the Brewers' second baseman. Now 3-0. Jeanette hitting just 209. Got a little bit of power. With Garza on deck, Gibson's in danger of filling first base. Down the middle of strike. Every batted ball has been kept in the infield so far this afternoon. There's another one. Grounded to the right side. 1 down, and on the play Segura goes to third. Now last night we saw the Brewers employ a safety squeeze with the pitcher. Kyle Osh dropped down a bunt, and it led to another run. Sanford Health Injury Report. Awful news for the Miami Marlins. Giancarlo Stanton has a broken hamate bone in his left hand. It's the bottom hand as he grips the bat. You You see so many hitters with the knob of the bat right on that hamate area in the fleshy part of your hand, and he's going to be out from 4 to 6 weeks. Infield in. Garza takes a strike. Now Garza's career numbers as a hitter, not very good. 17 hits, 194 at bats, but 194 at bats and 117 strikeouts. And
that's what Gibson needs right here.
And he takes a ball, 1-1. No hint of a bunt. Now, one of the things that may come into play here, we've seen Gibson is a very good fielding pitcher, and that may discourage the Brewers from even trying a bunt here. Very athletic, covers a lot of ground, agile. And a pitch out of a jam here in the third. Swing and a miss.
Good breaking ball right there.
1-2.
It was Segura last night he was at third base when Loesch laid down that bunt toward Joe Mauer, and he slid behind the tag of Suzuki.
Gibson got 3 strikeouts in the second. He'd like to get one here.
And I don't see why right here they don't try it.
He's going to strike out anyway, probably, right?
Yeah, just a safety type, maybe a squeeze.
And he made contact. Segura aboard thanks to an error. 1-2 to Garza. Ground ball to short, and Santana. Now Gibson will go after Parra. Infield back at normal depth. Plouffe even with the bag at third. Off the plate, ball 1. Hit a ground ball to Dozier's right in the first inning. Missing the inside corner. 2-0. Two and 1. Gibson trying to pitch around a 2-base error to start the inning. Ground ball short, backhanded. Santana's throw in time, and the shortstop recovers from an error to make a fine play to end the inning. You're watching this Twins and Brewers series on Fox Sports North, presented by North Dakota Tourism. Santana about the plays in the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah, he made the error to kind of put that Segura on, but watch his footing right here, kind of slipping a little bit, and he looked back at the soft dirt behind him. But a good play right there, going to deep short and then showing off that cannon he does have for an arm.
Everything kept in the infield through the first 3 innings for Kyle Gibson, and now Eddie Rosario will lead off the fourth in a scoreless game. Strike on the outside corner.
Now Garza getting ahead in the count. 9 of 11 first pitch strikes. Only hitting a ball game so far over the first 3 innings. The bunt by Dozier to lead off the ball game.
1-1. It'll be Rosario, Mauer, and then Plouffe here in the fourth. Swing and a miss. Came up and in with a good fastball.
Fastball's been clocked 92 to 94 for Matt Garza.
On the ground, couple of hops to Segura. 1 down. Join Fox Sports North at the next viewing party Thursday, July 2nd, beginning at 6:30 p.m. at Park Tavern in St. Louis Park. You can watch the Twins take on Kansas City, enjoy food and drink specials, register for tickets and prizes and more. Visit foxsportsnorth.com, click on upcoming events on the Hot Topics bar. It'll be the opening game of what might be a very important series for the Twins. They are behind the Royals in the standings. They have 4 games in Kansas City to do something about that. Twins are 4.5 games back of Kansas City now after losing last night, while the Royals won. 1 strike to Mauer. And the Tigers game has been rained out with Chicago. Cleveland also rained out. A couple of hops. I think it's just 1 hop to Jeanette, 2 down. I'll bring up Plouffe. Spend your summer at Target Field. Become a Twins season ticket holder with the new Pick 10 plan. Pick 10 games against the opponents you want to see the Twins beat and save off the box office price. Enjoy sweet spot benefits exclusive to Twins season ticket holders, including 10% off game day food and merchandise at Target Field. Learn about the options by visiting twinsbaseball.com/pick10 or by calling 612-33 Twins. Garza in a groove now. He set down 9 men in a row. And now getting the Twins to beat the ball into the ground.
Yeah, good curveball right there for strike 1 to Trevor Plouffe. He took Parra to the warning track in the first inning.
Another ground ball. Sounded like he cracked his back. And a quick 1, 2, 3, 4 for Matt Garza.
the Twins starting pitcher. After he's done playing, he says he wouldn't mind being a TV analyst. Bert Blyleven, we've seen firsthand that he's very skilled, but his teammates say he has a face for radio. He was also prom king in high school, and he says he wore a baby blue vest with a black tux, And finally, he said he went through a very unfortunate phase in middle school. He had scoliosis, so he had to wear a back brace paired with braces and also headgear. So he walked around, and again, as he called it, a very unfortunate phase of his life. He went on to recover just fine and is a big league pitcher today. But those are 3 things you need to know about him.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie. I hope he pitches for about another 10 years.
Want your job? Keep him for a while? Kind of made it sound like he was prom king. Got a sympathetic vote for how much he had to deal with in middle school. 1 strike to Lucroy. I think if Jamie ever wanted to do 3 things you need to know about Dick Bramer, I'd skip till like my 30th birthday. Nothing before my 30th birthday.
You don't want to go back into your past?
Well, it's nice enough that I remember. I don't know that I want anybody else to be aware of anything that happened to me before my 30th birthday. 1-2 to Lucroy.
Again, another area I am not going into.
Three strikeouts and 7 batted balls to the infield for Gibson so far today. And down and away 2-2.
Again, that's exactly what Neil Allen, the pitching coach, wants Gibson to do. Get some quick outs. 50 pitches so far for Kyle. 31 strikes. Keep that sinker down. Trust that sinker. This slider's been pretty sharp here so far. There's a good pitch down. And Lucroy beating it into the ground. Gibson's last win coming on Sunday, May 24th in Chicago, when he worked 8 very good innings and a Twins 8-1 win. Looking for his 5th win here this afternoon.
2-2 to Lucroy. And now a full count. Gibson's had some long at-bats. Full counts, or big deep counts, we'll say, but he's yet to walk anybody. The only base runner the Brewers have was a Segura, who reached on the Santana error. Full count to Lucroy.
Trust that fastball away.
To right. First ball hit out of the infield. And it's hit right at Hunter, 1 away.
Good fastball out over the plate. Make that guy swing the bat, and Lucroy did. It's a fly ball out.
Join us July 7th for Celebrate Diversity Day, presented by Prairie Island Indian Community. The first 10,000 fans get a Twins drawstring backpack, courtesy of Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Go to twinsbaseball.com/tickets. Get your tickets today. On July 7th, the Twins will be hosting the Baltimore Orioles, who right now have the identical record as the Twins. With the ball driven to the gap. It'll be down for a hit. One hops the wall. Gomez will go to second, and he's got the first Brewer hit. A 1-out double in the 4th.
Yeah, Gomez and his speed with his 14th double at second base. Split the gap in left center. Jumped on that first fastball with that uppercut swing. Ball one hopping the fence. Rosario has to get it and get it back in quickly.
Brewers did not score with their leadoff man at second base and nobody out in the 3rd. Now a 1-out double. Lynn struck out his first time up against Gibson. And we've seen teams do this, and it looks like the Brewers, second time through the order, have tried this now to go into attack mode. Gibson's going to get ahead of the hitters, and let's go after that first fastball. Gomez did it. Lynn tried to do it. 1 strike. To left. Down for a hit. Escobar will throw to the infield, and the Brewers get the first run. Lynn lining an RBI single to left field. And all 3 balls in the 4th here have been hit rather sharply.
Well, good hitting by Lynn right there, because it was a fastball away that he just hit sharply into that left field corner. Escobar has to get it back in quickly. So Lynn picking up his 37th RBI as Gomez makes it a 1-0 Brewers lead. That fastball a little bit up, but credit Lynn by taking that pitch the other way.
Through 3 innings, not 1 ball hit out of the infield, and now 3 straight have left the infield. Lucroy's line out to right, a double, a single, and now Ramirez. Big swing and a miss with Gibson throwing the off-speed pitch. Ramirez, like Lind and Peterson in the 2nd inning, struck out swinging. Strike 2. Chopper to Plouffe, to Dozier, and an inning-ending double play. But the Brewers put together a couple of hits in the game's first run in the 4th. Pepsi fans of the game, a lot of Twins fans in attendance here at Miller Park, hoping that the Twins can do to Milwaukee what Milwaukee did to the Twins at Target Field, and that is take the series 2-1.
Yeah, Matt Garza has been throwing strikes, 11 of 13 first pitch strikes, and he has been retiring the Twins quickly. Only 35 pitches used in the first 4 innings.
And there's a strike 1 taken by Hunter.
13 pitches in the first. That's the most he needed. Second and third, only 7 pitches. Last inning, only 8. Last 6 outs have come on ground ball outs. After the first couple innings, there were 4 fly ball outs.
And he had a similar start against the Twins at Target Field when he retired the first 11 batters, and then the Twins started gaining on him a little bit. Got a couple of runs against him. We'll see what they can get done here in the 5th. Hunter, Herman, and Escobar, and then Gibson's spot due up. Chop foul. Happy to be here at Miller Park, but if we weren't here and back in Minnesota, we might very well be at Target Field where they're hosting the Town Ball Classic.
Yeah.
A great thrill for the Town Ball players to be able to play at the Twins ballpark. 2 strikes. Hot ground ball, and it is by Ramirez into the corner. Hunter rounds first, on his way to second, and he's got a leadoff double.
Well, that ends a streak of 10 straight batters retired by Matt Garza. And for Torrey Hunter, leadoff double, his 12th, 13th double of the year. Second hit for the Twins. So it looked like Garza wanted to go in, and Torrey turning on that low fastball and hitting it right down that third baseline. It hugged the line all the way into the corner. Peterson has to retrieve it in the corner. See if the Twins can get Torrey Hunter across the plate here.
Big at bat for Herman, who struck out his first time up, and Chris has had a hard time making contact this year. Corner infielders are up. And Herman takes outside, ball 1. Herman with 56 at bats, and he has struck out 17 times. One and 0. Checked his swing, but not in time.
Yeah, because Kurt Suzuki catches probably 6 times a week, Chris Herman doesn't get a lot of playing time, so a lot of extra batting practice. It's still not game situation. So these at-bats, especially this one right here, very big for Chris Herman. Try to advance Torrey Hunter if you can.
Herman squaring early.
Showing bunt.
And he drops down a bunt foul, and it's 1-2. Garza with just 1 strikeout, and it was Herman in the 2nd inning. Herman tried to put the ball down in front of Ramirez, make him play the bunt, allowing Hunter to run to third behind him. Now 1-2. It's slapped to the left field corner into the seats.
Yeah, that bunt by Herman, it doesn't matter where you lay it down. You'd like to lay it to third, but we've talked about Matt Garza fielding his position not very well, just anywhere. So that kind of put Herman into a hole, unable to lay down that ball. Garza struck him out for his only strikeout in the 2nd inning.
What Herman can get done here with a 1-2 count. Outside 2-2. Gibson was able to pitch around the same situation Garza's facing here in the 3rd inning. Back in the 3rd inning, Segura reached on a 2-base error but never did score after he led off the inning with the ground ball to Santana. And now 3-2 with Escobar on deck. And lifted foul over the Twins dugout. Giving up a run in the bottom of the 4th. Twins trying to get at least that run back in the top of the 5th. Herman takes ball 4.
Good at bat for Chris Herman.
Ball behind, ends up going to first base every weeknight. Don't miss MLB Whip Around on Fox Sports 1 with highlights, instant analysis, and live look-ins from around the league. MLB Whip Around is weeknights at 6 p.m. Central on Fox Sports 1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Last night, Paul Molitor batted the pitcher 9th. Today, he's batting Gibson 8th. And it comes into play here now in the 5th, where otherwise Escobar might be asked to bunt. He's got the pitcher hitting next, so that might very well eliminate the possibility of a bunt here. Fox Tracks presented by Ram. In the dirt, blocked by Lucroy.
But Garza was pounding the strike zone all of a sudden against Herman, and now Escobar falling behind.
Strike taken.
Matt Garza in his second season with Milwaukee, of course, came up with the Twins and traded over to the Tampa Bay Rays. Also spent time with the Chicago Cubs and the Texas Rangers. Became a free agent, signed a 4-year contract with the Brewers. He's in his second year of that 4-year contract.
Escobar fouls it back, and now he's behind in the count, 0-2. Excuse me, 1-2 the count.
Garza over his career has almost 1,200 strikeouts. He's averaged about 7.5 strikeouts per 9 innings, making his 233rd major league start.
Foul tip, and Lucroy can't hang on. Escobar will get another swing.
Garza with 79 major league wins, 84 losses, 10 complete games, 4 shutouts.
Another 1-2 to Escobar. Hunter to third base, and Escobar fouls it to the backstop.
2 strikes on him. He has to, protect the plate. Torrey got a very good jump. But with 2 strikes, the ball was hittable, and he had to protect the plate. You see Torrey taking off right here and hoping that Garza would throw a ball out of the strike zone, but instead he threw it in the strike zone. So Escobar had to swing through it, and he fouled it off.
And Herman, after a delay, did follow Hunter to second base.
So what Garza did there that he did not do, and that allowed Torrey to take off, is look more than once towards second base. Segura, the shortstop, playing cat and mouse with Torrey, try to keep him close.
Escobar drives it to right center field. And deep, Parra back. Gone, a 3-run home run.
Well, maybe Torrey Hunter upset Matt Garza, but Escobar got a fastball and hits his 4th home run of the year. His 2nd as a left-handed hitter. So Garza throwing a fastball, Escobar dropping the bat and hitting it into the bullpen area of the Twins.
And now Gibson fouls it back.
That's a big 3-run home run right there by Escobar.
Foul back, 2 strikes. Well, that's got to be a good feeling if you're Gibson, right? I mean, you've just given up a run. Team generally has struggled to score runs, and right before you come to the plate, your left fielder hits a 3-run home run. And then you strike out, but
and who cares?
1 down.
You got a 2-run lead. Garza does pick up a strikeout, but it's too late. His second of the ball game.
One down, and that'll bring up Santana. Sharp ground ball. Segura. 2 down. And that'll get us back to the top of the order and Brian Dozier. Dozier with a bunt single. He was thrown out trying to steal. And then he hit a ground ball to third his second time up. Needs to get a triple here, and he'll be able to say that he hit for the cycle against Matt Garza. In the dirt. 2-0. Big 3-run home run has given the Twins a lead here. Rosario on deck.
Yeah, Garza breezed through the first 4 innings here in the 5th. Falling behind now. Dozier takes a strike. Just wondering if Torrey Hunter, when he took off, it just kind of Garza just kind of lost his concentration a little bit and threw that fastball to Escobar. And Eduardo did not miss it.
Right, Paul. If I were Garza, I'd be probably just as upset about the walk to Herman as anything else in this inning. You had Herman behind 1 and 2 after the failed bunt attempt. Then he ended up giving him first base. Full count to Dozier. Out of play.
Garza, that was his 15th home run allowed this year.
And another foul. Garza's thrown almost half the pitches he's thrown today in this inning.
Well, this will be pitch number 30 coming here in the 5th inning.
It's almost half of
Almost.
65.
Almost.
And another foul. And again, that's kind of what happened at Target Field. Garza was dominant in the first 3-4 innings, and then in the middle innings, the Twins had some better swings.
Yeah, we showed you the numbers 13, 7, 7, 8, and now this will be 31 on my California map.
Inside, he ends up walking Dozier.
Second walk of the inning.
That'll get Rosario to the plate. Trip to the mound by Lucroy. Quick trip to the mound by the catcher. You know, statistically in the league rankings, the Twins aren't doing anything extraordinary in the team categories. They're 9th in batting average, 8th in earned run average, 8th in fielding percentage. But yet they've got only 4 teams ahead of them with a better record. That's despite a month of June where they really haven't gotten into any kind of extended rhythm like they did in May. Statistically a middle of the pack team, but you know, 5 games above 500, and they hope to
finish the month of June on a high note.
Yeah, I think, we've talked about that before, Dick, that, it's not one or two guys that are carrying the ball club. It's a combination of everybody contributing.
Low throw, and there's a rare throw from Garza over to first, and he nearly threw it away. And Lynn going, okay, where's the next one going to go? The problem Garza's had throughout his professional career, even when he was with the Twins in the minor league system. And Dozier got a huge jump.
Yes, he did.
And still barely got in.
Lucroy again, a good strong throw on the second base side. But this time, that stolen base was all off of Matt Garza. I'm going to show you the jump that he had right here. I mean, Garza's just lifting his foot up by the time Dozier takes off for second, his 7th stolen base.
That was a close play, even though Dozier got the big jump. 1 strike to Rosario. He can add another run to the lead here with a hit to the outfield. Popped up and out of play, 2 strikes. Rosario in center field, and when he played at Rochester before his call-up, he and Aaron Hicks rotated between center field and right field. Mike Quaddy, the AAA manager for the Twins, assured Paul Molitor don't have any reservations about putting Rosario out in center. Given the injury situation with Hicks and Buxton, that's what the manager's done here today.
Well, we've seen Rosario play all outfield positions, left, right, now center.
And he said all the right things, of course. He doesn't care where he plays as long as he plays. 1 and 2. The other option would have been Danny Santana or Shane Robinson, who played out there last night. Jordan Schaefer's been released. He was the opening day center fielder.
Hey, got Escobar into the ball game, and look what he did.
Yep. And now up and away, 2 and 2. Garza just having a terrible time here in the 5th inning, finishing off hitters. He was close to having Herman put away, but he ended up walking him. Escobar fouled off a tough 2-strike pitch and hit a home run on the next pitch. 2 and 2 to Rosario. And a pop-up backing out of play.
Yeah, Dozier fouled off a lot of pitches before he drew the walk. All of a sudden came into this inning with 35 pitches. Now this will be pitch number 72.
And Rosario flips it foul. Aaron Hicks, by the way, can rejoin the major league club as soon as Monday. That's not to suggest that it's going to happen. And again, the Rochester team rained out tonight. But that is the earliest that Hicks could come off the disabled list. 2 and 2. Big pop-up right on top of home plate. And now back to the screen. Lucroy has room. Twins get a 3-run home run. Escobar's 4th of the year, and they take a 3-1 lead. Presented by North Dakota Tourism. North Dakota, legendary. So many great Twins fans from the state of North Dakota. And Twins fans everywhere. Happy that Eduardo Escobar's given the Twins a 3-1 lead. Shane Peterson will lead off the bottom of the 5th against Kyle Gibson. First pitch chopped to Joe Mauer. A very easy first out of the 5th.
And then Peterson finally made contact off of Gibson. He had struck out 3 times. And Twin fans, don't forget at Twin home games, you bring your circle me sign, something like that. You might find yourself in a Minnesota Lottery winner's circle, where you could win $100 worth of lottery scratch-off tickets, courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery.
Where are your gloves? It says, can I borrow your mitt? What'd you do with your gloves?
I have all my gloves. Actually, my wife Gail made a very nice display of 7 of my gloves that I had from 1970 all the way to 1992. And then I have other gloves in storage.
Okay.
I use one of my gloves, my last glove I used that at the fantasy camp. Still in good shape. A Rawlings glove at that.
Okay.
Always use Rawlings. Great glove.
I know we shot some promotional stuff about a month ago, and we were each told to bring our gloves, and I brought my glove from high school, and you brought, I believe, that glove you spoke of, the last glove you used, and I thought since we've been working together now for 21 years, that would be an even exchange.
Do you want a glove?
I'd give you something that was very, special to me. The glove I used in high school for the Staples Cardinals back in the 70s, only used one glove, and I only have one of those. And here you've got 20, 30, 40 gloves. Here's a dribbler to the right side. Dozier from his glove to Mauer's glove. Makes a fine play.
Very nice play by hopefully the future All-Star Brian Dozier. He's played so well at second base all season long. He's committed only 2 errors on the year. And right here, with Segura and his speed, he has to shovel it out of the glove. It stuck a little bit, but able to get it over to Joe Mauer before the speedy Segura can get to the bag.
And on replay, you saw where he was. The shift had him playing more up the middle, so he had to get there quickly. And still had barely enough time to get Segura 2 down, and that'll bring up Jeanette.
And you got to like what Gibson's doing right here. When your club gives you a lead just like that, get some quick outs. And he did exactly that. A 1-2-3, bottom of the 5th.
6 pitches in the bottom of the 5th for Kyle Gibson. Flags it down. What a phenomenal play by Brian Dozier.
Oh, what a great play by Brian Dozier.
One of the things that I think hurts Brian defensively. The fact that he's had a couple of spells early in the season and now recently too, where the ball simply hasn't been hit to him much, where he hasn't had a chance to make the extraordinary play like the one he just made in the bottom of the fifth.
Coming into this year, the most assists by a second baseman over the last 2 seasons with Brian Dozier.
Strike, outside, ball 1.
And I don't know what the stats are this year. I'm sure he's leading the American League again in assists.
You know, he makes the spectacular play, but you're at the mercy of having the opportunity to make the extraordinary play. And for most of April, Brian just didn't have many opportunities to go into that backhanded slide that we've seen him make so many times. 1-1 to Mauer. He's walked and bounced to second. Last to left, Mauer has a hit. Peterson was playing him toward the line. It'll be a single, leading off the 6th inning.
You know, one more thing about Brian Dozier is you have sometimes, and I had him over my career, that, you know, you have guys that maybe on a hard play, they kind of short arm it. They're afraid to make an error. Brian Dozier is not that type of player. You know, he will go after everything, whether it's hit to his right or left. He dives, he gets dirty.
And you still have an opportunity to fill out your 2015 Esurance All-Star Game ballots at twinsbaseball.com. You can vote up to 35 times at twinsbaseball.com. Plouffe tries to bunt on a breaking ball and misses.
Yeah, not a bad attempt right there, because Ramirez was playing back behind third base.
You expect to get a fastball, and Garza gave him an off-speed pitch. 1 strike. Again, the balloting situation is such where Brian certainly has more business starting the All-Star game than Omar Infante of the Royals does, but it's Infante who is leading the balloting. That loose ball in the dirt got tangled up in Plouffe's feet. Otherwise, Mauer might have been able to advance. It's 2-1. Even in Kansas City, they're speculating Infante may start at second base for the American League. It might not be the starting second baseman for the Royals by the end of the year. That's how ineffective he's been at the plate. At the knees, 2-2. Royals in Oakland. They'll face Scott Kazmir this afternoon. Double play grounder, hit right to Jeanette. And dropped at first. Lynn didn't catch the low throw, and Plouffe will be safe at first on a fielder's choice.
Segura was playing a very deep short, so by the time that Jeanette could feed him the ball, Joe Mauer was pretty much right on top of him. Much of ball hit very sharply. Jeanette has to wait, and by the time Segura got there,
he's still out. Yep.
Pick up the ball quick enough.
So that will, in all likelihood, be overturned. Lynn did get the baseball in his bare hand before Plouffe got to the bag.
Yeah, Segura at short, kind of holding that right ankle.
Well,
so he may have hurt himself.
Now Garza was up on the mound, and he will get the challenge. The way the rule goes, Garza was up on top of the mound, and he had not engaged the rubber, but he was on top of the mound, and if Hunter had been in the batter's box, the Brewers might have
lost their right
to challenge this call. Right. Pitchers are instructed to not even go onto the top of the mound, just stay on the grass. So the Brewer fans here think that they're going to get this call overturned.
Yeah, they're showing it back on the big screen as the ball comes out of Lynn's glove by the time he got it back in his hand. His foot was still on the bag before Trevor Plouffe could get his foot on the bag.
And while you watch the replay, news of a couple days ago that baseball is going to expand and have a second review facility in San Francisco. They're going to have one on each coast. And on Friday nights when everybody is playing, you can imagine that the duties would be split. Half the games may be being reviewed in New York and the other half on the West Coast, which makes sense, I guess. And I don't know why this particular challenge is taking so long. It's pretty clear that Lind had possession of the ball before Plouffe got to the bag, unless there's a secondary issue with his foot. See if his foot stays on the base as he lunges for the ball, and that might be the issue. His left foot, did it stay engaged with the base?
Well, let me ask you, I don't know what the ruling is, but that ball was on the ground when he had control of it. Is that considered still an out when that ball is on the ground? Well, and his hand is around it? Or does he have to bring that ball up?
I think it's when he would get control of the ball.
And they're going to call him out.
Yep. I think justice prevailed, but again, his left foot disengaged the base very close to the time he established control of the baseball.
Well, watch the ball slip out of Lind's glove right here. Now, when he goes to get it, his foot, I believe, is still on the bag right there.
Yep. And I think that's. Yep.
He did have control of the ball, even though the ball was on the ground.
2 down. Here's Hunter. Started the 3-run fifth with a sharp ground ball double into the left field corner. In the dirt, 2-0. A deep drive to left. Hunter with a tape measure shot to left center, and it's 4-1.
Home run number 9 on the year for Torrey Hunter. Garza fell behind, threw him a fastball right there, and Torrey jumped all over it.
Pointing to a section of Twins fans.
That was a no-doubter right there by Torrey Hunter. Fastball, a batting practice type fastball, and Torrey put a great swing on it.
You hit it that good. Why would you look away? Wouldn't you want to see where it landed as you went to first base? 1 strike now to Herman. In the 3-run fifth, the Twins got the leadoff double from Hunter, the 3-run home run by Escobar. But in between, maybe one of the more important walks of the season for the Twins. Herman fell behind 1 and 2, ended up getting first base on the walk, fouled off some 2-strike pitches along the way. Then Escobar hit the home run and made it a 3-run home run, of course. Now 1 and 2.
It's funny how this game is. The first 4 innings, it looked like Garza had outstanding stuff. Twins were going to be in trouble, but the last couple,
not so. Hit to center field, and Gomez retreats into the sunlight, and another catch out on the edge of the warning track. Another run for the Twins in the 6th. You're watching this Twins and Brewers series on Fox Sports North, presented by North Dakota Tourism.
Presented by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's. Have bold for breakfast with the new chorizo burrito from McDonald's. All 4 Twins runs on home runs. A 3-run home run by Eduardo Escobar. Torrey Hunter with a solo home run. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Matt Garza out of the game. Jason Rogers will hit for him, leading off the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, Rogers used the most by the Brewers as a pinch hitter. 30 at bats, 8 hits, one of them a home run.
1-0 from Gibson. Rogers, then Parra and Lucroy. 1-1. Gibson had the quick 5th inning when he threw just 6 pitches. So a foul. And that's helped his overall pitch count. Now 68 pitches thrown, and he's gotten 15 outs. With a moth on his cap. In the dirt, 2-2. Getting a pretty good view of things, I guess. Down and away now, 3-2.
Well, Gibson doing exactly what Neil Allen was hoping he'd get. A lot of ground ball outs. 11 ground ball outs so far for Kyle Gibson in the first 5 innings.
2 hits came consecutively in the 4th and led to the Milwaukee run. Chopper left side. Bloof got a second hop that skipped to him. He makes the play. Another ground ball out. Ball looked like it hit the edge of the grass and kind of scooted. Gibson got rid of the moth. 1 down. And now Parra. Parra with a couple of ground balls. Fairly routine ground ball to Dozier in the 1st, and then with a runner at 3rd and 2 down, Parra hit a hot ground ball to the backhand side of Santana, and looked like Santana's back spikes slid a little bit, but he made an on-target throw to Mauer to strand the runner at 3rd. 1 strike. Pulled foul. Mentioned that the Brewers have had a lot of fun hitting home runs against the Twins. This is not a home run hitting team. Brewers with 66 home runs in now their 76th game, but they hit 7 in the first 4 games. Now they have hit more home runs than the Twins this year, but so far today the Twins the only team with home runs.
Yeah, they've given up a lot of home runs, the Brewers have. Only the Phillies have allowed more home runs than the Brewers this year.
2 today, 88 on the year. Two strikes.
And for the Twins, they have hit 60 home runs on the year. The opponents have hit 73.
Now 2-2. One other news and note that we did not show you. Johan Santana has decided to abort his comeback attempts this year with the Toronto Blue Jays. It's been one thing after another, and now Santana with an infected toe, unable to really continue his quest to get back and help the Blue Jays, and he said he'll try it again next year. Poke to left and a base hit for Parra. A one-out single, and that'll get Lucroy to the plate.
Our Carsoup.com trivia question: which Brewer has the most home runs against the Twins? Sexton. Jeff Jenkins. 10 home runs back in about that era. Jenkins, powerful left-handed hitter the Brewers had here. Parra at first, one down. Gibson's usually good for at least one ground ball double play a game. He's yet to get that. Well, he got one in the fourth inning.
In the fourth inning, yep. His 17th of the year. That came into the ball game with 16, tied with Mike Pelfrey for the major league lead in double plays. So right now Gibson one up.
A couple of liners for Lucroy, one to Plouffe and one to Hunter. In the dirt, 1-1.
Gibson making his 56th major league start. 19 wins, 22 losses, an ERA 4.5.
Michael Blazek warming up. He'll pitch next for Milwaukee. 1-1 to the Milwaukee catcher. Inside 2-1.
Gibson very quick home. Parra at first base, pretty good lead. He has 5 stolen bases in 5 attempts. But only 2 stolen bases against Kyle in 3 attempts. There's that slide step toward home.
Leg kick there, but he misses inside. 3-1. Gomez in the on deck circle.
Yeah, no walks for Kyle. 3 strikeouts, all of them coming in the second inning.
Gomez would represent the tying run if Lucroy should reach. To Lucroy. And he walked him, missed the inside corner, and now Gomez will come to the plate as the tying run.
I'd like Lucroy to make contact right here instead.
Missed.
Just inside. Gomez in his last at bat jumped on the first pitch and hit that double in the gap to the left center.
Suddenly a big at bat here for Gibson. Big swing and a miss. We saw Gomez strike out last night and then fall over the plate, and that time he swung out from underneath his helmet.
Oh, he's trying to tie the game right here. A hard breaking ball. I'm sure he's guessing fastball. Gibson starts him off with a breaking ball.
One and one.
Tough guy to walk. He's up there swinging only 8 times. Carlos Gomez has drawn a walk this year in 195 at-bats.
Nice block by Herman.
Oh, nice smother right there by Chris Herman. times in a ball game, these little things right here are overlooked. Ball landed in front of home plate, but Herman did a good job of deadening the ball and keeping it in front of him.
Again, this year, Gomez has done a nice job against his former team. 8 hits, 19 at bats against Twins pitching, including the double in the 4th. There's a chopper foul, 2-2.
As we saw, he likes to swing that bat. He'll strike out about once every 4 at-bats. Ground ball and a double against Gibson. See if he chases his breaking ball.
Drilled to center. Rosario with a nice running catch. That ball was tattooed.
Yeah, that breaking ball left up, and Rosario got a very good jump out in center field. Gibson, little pitch by pitch. Gomez trying to hit it into the next county. Gets strike 1. Then he missed with that breaking ball down. And Herman did a great job of blocking that. And then right there, Gomez missing probably the best pitch, but right there, a hanger. And Gomez hit it sharply, but look at Rosario right there, the jump that he got on the line drive catch.
2 down, 2 on, and now Lind. Sliced a single to left to drive in Gomez in the 4th. Lind again with the biggest swing of the bat against Gibson in Minnesota earlier this month, with the early 3-run home run.
He fell behind on Lind, and nice play.
Dozier in short right field ends the inning.
Nice play again by Brian Dozier.
Dozier got the first hop, and if he hadn't gotten it, Hunter might have gotten it. That's how close the two were together out there. Of the game. Escobar drives it to right center field and deep. Parra back, gone, a 3-run home run. A deep drive to left. Hunter with a tape measure shot to left center, and it's 4-1. The team that's hit the home runs is the team that's won the games in this season series so far. Escobar with 2 men aboard in the 5th. Hunter a solo home run in the 6th. It'll be Escobar presumably Gibson, and then Danny Santana.
Yeah, Michael Blasek coming in to relieve Matt Garza, who worked the first 6 innings, making his 31st relief appearance. In his second season with the Brewers, done a good job. Very good. 1.88 earned run average. Only 24 hits allowed in 38 and a third innings.
Escobar with a fly to left, and then the 3-run home run. He'll lead off the 7th, playing in left field today. Down and in, ball 1. Two and 0. Royals with the best record in the American League. Cardinals with the best record in the National League. Popped up down the left field line, a foul ball.
Division that's really getting close is the American League Eastern Division.
Wow.
There are 4 teams over 500.
Only one team in the West, the Astros. Everybody else is at 500 or below, but 4 teams within 1 game of first place in the East. Look at that. Tampa Bay leading by a half over New York, and then Baltimore and Toronto, and essentially a dead heat. Down and away. American League Central with 3 teams over 500. And now Escobar takes a leadoff walk from Blasek. And that'll set Gibson up for a possible sacrifice attempt. Well, the sacrifice attempt isn't possible. It's going to happen.
Yes.
Whether he succeeds or not.
Yes.
That's the possibility.
He will be bunting here, everybody.
Tapper to Garza, and a strikeout so far for Gibson. And they say he offered out 1 strike.
Bunt this down toward first base.
Strike 2. I don't know if the pitchers are called. Strikes Gibson. A little surprised that that second one was called a strike.
Well, you got to get the barrel. He's asking Gene Glenn for another sign, but again, you're going to be bunting right here. Just try to lay it down.
One and 2.
You know, one thing I took a lot of pride in was bunting when I first came up, and then also in the National League. And Gibson's left foot, I mean, you got to turn that foot a little bit, get your body squared up right toward that pitch. That left foot is pointing toward the dugout over there of the Brewers.
Bunted foul, and that'll be a strikeout. One
strikeout.
Down. It would have been Gibson's first successful sacrifice attempt. 1 down.
Well, that left foot, you want to almost point it toward the pitcher. And instead, you kind of lock yourself in right there by doing that. And then he jabbed at it. Bunted it foul. See the barrel of the bat, too, back. You got to get the barrel of the bat out.
Santana with a couple of grounders to short.
I think Torrey giving him some heck right there.
Side, ball 1. One of the things Paul Molitor said that Mike Quanti, the AAA manager, saw of Santana in Rochester is personality again. The guy who's got a great personality, but was subdued with his struggles in the field and at the plate. But he succeeded in Rochester. And,
that's why I think, Dick, we saw Paul earlier in the ball game after the air kind of talk to him between it, trying to get him to have some fun. You know, some players put so much pressure on themselves, and if they don't succeed, they go into a deeper hole, and you lose that individual as far as the personality and the confidence.
And for me, I'm amazed that the Twins are where they are, not because I didn't think they could have a winning record this year, but they're 5 games above 500, and they've gotten very little contribution from 2 guys who were brought up last year, had an impact, Santana and Vargas, and neither one has had anything close to what the Twins had hoped for at the start of the year. Both players have been sent down to the minor leagues, and those were 2 key guys. And then there's Arcia as well, who's expected to hit in the middle of this Twins lineup. And despite having those 3 players struggle with the expectations surrounding them this year, the Twins have had one of the best records in the league. And now up and away 2-1.
I think you have to give some credit to Eddie Rosario too, because he's come up and really kind of filled the spot of those 2 guys, and he, you know, comes up with a different attitude of that he already feels like he belongs here. He's got that charisma about him. Where the other guys, I think Vargas and Santana, there you could almost see there's still that doubt, even though they had success last year.
Escobar takes off and out at second. Segura with a tag around the helmet area.
Yeah, Lucroy saying they're throwing out his second base runner. Got Dozier in the first inning, and here Escobar taking off. Got a pretty good jump, but Lucroy again, all his throws on the second base side. And that allows that middle infielder to apply the tag as that runner comes sliding in. So 3 very good throws to second base.
Dozier got a good jump and barely beat the throw the second time. Now Santana fouls it back, 3-2. You look at the Twins at this juncture, and they say good teams are strong up the middle, yet the Twins have had a revolving door in center field. They've had a revolving door at short. Santana with a fly to short center, and Gomez streaks in. And that wraps up the top of the 7th inning. You're watching the Twins and Brewers series on Fox Sports North, presented by North Dakota Tourism. Watching this Twins and Brewers series on Fox Sports North, presented by North Dakota Tourism. Dick and Bert and Jamie here in Milwaukee. Thomas Ramirez will face Kyle Gibson, who pitched to the Brewers in the 7th.
Yeah, Gibson got away with a couple pitches to end the 6th inning. Hopefully it's a stronger 7th. Gomez hitting that ball right on the button, and then Lind hitting that ball sharply. That Dozier made a nice play to get him out of the 6th inning. 88 pitches for Gibson.
Ramirez on the ground to Santana. Quickly one out. And that'll bring up Peterson.
And another ground ball out for Kyle Gibson. My count is now 14 ground ball outs.
Peterson grounded out to Mauer on the first pitch he saw leading off the 5th, his last time up. Down low, ball 1. The way it's turned out, just the top 2 teams in the American League Central will play today. Tigers, Indians, and White Sox all rained out. Reds are in New York. They're concerned about weather there, and that may impact what the Reds do with their rotation when the Twins play their Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Right now, the Twins are scheduled to face Johnny Cueto in the series finale. Cueto pushed back a few days, pitched a good ball game last night. As Gibson has here this afternoon. 2-1. And a strike call. Ball 3-2. Gibson's had some 3-ball counts. Has only walked 1 man. That was Lucroy in the 6th. On the ground, and it got between Gibson's legs into center field. That's not the worst thing that could have happened. That ball was hit pretty good, and Gibson lucky he didn't get hit by that ball.
This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC. Gibson just giving up his 4th hit.
Segura with a couple of ground balls. He reached on an error, a charged error to Santana on his throw in the 3rd, and then he hit a ground ball to Dozier. This one through the hole. Peterson to second. Now the Brewers with Jeanette coming to the plate will get the tying run to the plate. Ryan Braun in the on-deck circle. He'll hit in the pitcher spot. So if ever there was a time to get another double play grounder, this would be it.
Yeah, Blaine Boyer just getting up in the bullpen for the Twins.
Jeanette with a bouncer to second and a bouncer to short. Gibson approaching the 100 pitch level. To center, and Rosario with the catch out number 2, but that means Braun will come up as the tying run. Another pretty well hit ball, and you're right, most of what the Brewers have put in play the last couple innings has been hit sharply.
Yeah, I mean, he's been getting some ground ball outs, but they're sharp ground ball outs, and that ball hit not real sharply, but got the 2nd out off the bat of Jeanette. Well, Ryan Braun was not in the starting lineup, but he is pinch hitting here, 1 for 3 as a pinch hitter. Braun started in right field in last night's ball game. Got a couple hits. In 4 official at-bats, he drew a walk.
Fox Tracks presented by Carrier. 2nd inning in a row where the Brewers have had at-bats with the tying run in the batter's box. and in, ball one. Brewers had 2 at bats in the 6th. Now the 2nd at bat in the 7th. With 2 men aboard.
Braun leading the Brewers with 14 home runs.
One and 0. Liner to left, a base hit. Peterson around third. He'll score. And Braun delivers a pinch hit RBI single, and it's 4-2.
Kyle right now leaving some pitches up. Breaking ball left up right there, and Braun picking up an RBI, his 47th of the year. And the first pitch down for ball one. And then Gibson saw that slider right there, left up. And Braun hit it sharply in the left field. So Paul Molitor on his way out.
And Gibson giving up the 3rd time through the batting order, 4 hits and a walk. And he's taken out with the Twins up by 2.
Innings, no hits. Gomez with a double in the 4th inning. He did strike out the side, as only 3 strikeouts here this afternoon came in the 2nd inning. But then in the 6th inning, some balls that were left up over the plate, some good defensive plays behind him. This one right here, Adam Lynn hitting it sharply, but there's Brian Dozier in short right field, retiring that final out in the 6th, and then 3 hits here in the 7th, but there are 2 outs. And Blaine Boyer coming in to hopefully get the final out here, making his 35th relief appearance.
He'll face Parra. Inheriting 2 runners with 2 out. Ball 1. Parra singled his last time up. We're on the tying run at first. And Herman will go to the mound.
Well, with the runner at second base, of course, more than one sign is flashed by the catcher, Chris Herman, and maybe just reassuring what signs are being used. Maybe Blaine saying, hey, I want to throw this pitch in this situation.
1-0 to Parra. 1-1.
Good fastball at 93. Parra fouled it off.
Shot foul. 1-2. One and two. Boyer to Parra. Back. And Herman will hand deliver a new baseball.
These guys were teammates, Boyer and Parra, in Arizona. So Boyer knows a little bit about Parra.
I'd say that seemed to be a little bit more than just here, let's do this, okay. I mean, there was a little dialogue there between the pitcher and the catcher.
Yeah, Parra's a good hitter. I mean, this is a guy that the Brewers got from the Diamondbacks a couple years ago. Career .274 hitter.
Check his swing.
Tried to sneak that fastball by him, down and away, and just outside. Parra held up.
Dropped outside arm a little bit there.
Yeah, a little bit.
2-2.
Boyer has that sinking fastball. He got a little cutter he'll throw in on lefties. Curveball, changeup.
Breaking ball got him.
There's that curveball.
76 miles per hour. The Brewers get one and leave two. position to pick up the win. He's out of the game. Blaine Boyer got the hold.
Yes. Big pitch. That big strikeout right there by Boyer.
And the Brewers tapped into their bullpen further by bringing Jeremy Jeffress into the game.
Yeah, Jeffress has done a great job out of that bullpen, making his 36th relief appearance. Jeffress in his second season with the Brewers. In his second stint with the Brewers, came up with the Brewers in 2010, then went to the Royals. Also spent some time in Toronto with the Blue Jays.
Jeffress, hard thrower, and it never really clicked for him in Kansas City, but he throws hard enough to be imagined in the Kansas City bullpen. He just was bounced out by some better arms.
Yeah, 34 strikeouts in 33 innings. 12 walks, but 5 of them intentional.
Dozier with a single and a walk, 1 for 2 in stolen bases. He'll lead off the 8th. Strike 1. With a 1 for 2 game so far, Dozier's average at 270. That's where he would like to have as the base for his batting average now. Toward the hole. And Dozier will get another base hit. Segura kept it from going further into the outfield, but Dozier has another 2-hit game. That's how he's gotten the average up now above 270. Instead of 1 hit a game, more often than not, it's 2 hit a game.
Yeah, last night's ball game, the home run and then a couple singles. Here he starts the ball game off with a bunt single, and then the seeing eye base hit between third and short. Segura feels it, but has no play.
See how the Twins play it now with Rosario at the plate. 0 for 3 today. He may be asked to bunt. Dozier's tried to steal twice, and he's 1 for 2. And Rosario laid on a 97-mile-per-hour fastball.
Twins would like to get that run back that the Brewers put on the board in the bottom of the 7th.
Fouled into the seats, 0-2. Just to follow up on your thoughts, just watching Rosario's demeanor. He looks like a 10-year veteran. He's striking out a lot, but that's always been part of his game. Missed inside.
You can see where he stands in the batter's box. He's almost like someone that's not afraid. Hey, pitch me inside. I'm going to be quick. It's right on top of the plate. Left foot all the way back as far as possible.
Chopped towards second. Out there, and Rosario beats the relay. 1 down. Rosario reaches on a fielder's choice. Mauer to the plate. Join us for the Lynx Night Out ticket offer. Welcomed by Fox Sports North. For just $30, fans receive a ticket to the game, craft beer sampling, and a commemorative Lynx beer stein. Offer is valid for games on July 3rd, 17th, September 4th. For details, visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events for details. And now Mauer with a runner at first and 1 away. Joe's reached twice on a single and a walk. In the dirt, Rosario almost trying to scamper to second.
Well, and that's what you want. That's what you want out of a base runner. If that ball gets away from the catcher, he can advance. Rosario, good speed. 5 stolen bases in 6 attempts.
And a strike, 1-1.
Butch Davis right there helping read the signs from Gene Glenn over at third base. Saw Lind right there kind of maybe struggling with the sun as his sun is setting into the stands down that left field line.
They lost that ball in a shirt. You can see the white colored shirts bathed in sunlight. Grounder. Again out at second. Safe at first. Nice play by Segura in the hole, and they got the lead runner and a close play at first, 2 away.
Yeah, Greg Counsell up. You don't know if he was going to be wanting a review on this. Bang bang play at first base. Segura makes a nice play going to his right.
Jeffress was at the top of the mound. He's walked down to the front of the mound now, in front of the mound, talking to Lucroy, and everybody's looking into the Brewer dugout.
I believe that's bench coach Jerry Narron on the phone.
I don't think there's conclusive evidence to overturn it.
And there is not. They will not ask for a review.
Bauer at first in the fielder's choice, and now Plouffe 0 for 3 in the game. Hit a home run late in the ball game last night. Twins scored 3 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, had the leadoff man on in the 7th, didn't score. Leadoff man on in the 8th, and so far in the 8th they haven't scored. 1 strike. Up and away, 1-1. Two and one.
That fastball at 98. Jeffress just getting loose. Former #1 pick by the Brewers, Jeffress, back in 2006, out of South Boston, Virginia. Signed out of high school.
Hit to right, hanging in the air for Parra. Twins come up empty in the top of the 8th. Casey Fiend will likely get the bottom of the 8th. well. Glenn Perkins will get the ninth.
Yeah, Casey Fiend, since he came off the disabled list back in late May, he's worked a total of 10 2/3 innings, allowed only 1 run on 6 hits, 1 walk with 10 strikeouts, making his 20th relief appearance.
Gave up a couple of hits on a run to the White Sox in his last outing. That was 4 days ago. He'll face Lucroy, Gomez, and Lind, the 2, 3, and 4 batters for Milwaukee. Lucroy with a walk and 2 lineouts against Kyle Gibson. Strike at the knees. Up the line, kicking foul. Like any reliever, Fiend is capable of giving up some base hits, but he's got a low opponent batting average and just 1 walk issue in 21 2/3 innings, and an outstanding whip, which is really important for a late inning reliever. Walks and hits per innings pitched of .89.
Yeah, one thing he throws that little cutter, and he can pinpoint that baby down and away, and that's where Chris Herman's sitting right now. That's a straight fastball there. That more of the 4-seamer. Very dependable out of that bullpen over the last couple of years for the Twins.
Popped up. And Mauer looking for room, but it is backing out of play. Fiend actually with a lower opponent batting average than the Twins closer Glenn Perkins. Perkins giving up a .222 batting average and Fiend a .213 batting average. And Perkins too doesn't walk very many people. He's only walked 4 men this year. One and 2 to Lucroy. That's to short center field, and Santana calls for it. And in the palm of his glove makes the catch.
Yeah, he and Dozier were converging right there, and it was Santana that called him off. Rosario comes charging in, but the first out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand in true HD with MLB.TV Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. MLB.TV Premium includes a free at-bat 15 subscription. You can watch at home, in the office, on the go, every night, every device. Blackout, other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Gomez hitting third this afternoon. He's 1 for 3 and has hit the ball hard twice. Lined out to Rosario his last time up with 2 men on. Fouled back. One and 1. Chop to Plouffe. 2 down.
Yeah, Trevor in on the grass, taking a bunt away, and a nice hop for Trevor Plouffe, and the second out.
He ended up on the grass, but he came in from the dirt as Fiend was delivering the pitch. And we've seen some third basemen do that against some of the Twins bunters, and now Trevor tried to do it, almost hoping that Gomez would bunt. Kind of crept in as the pitch was being delivered. 2 down. A little bit low, ball 1 to Lind. Now 2-0. and he's a strike.
Nice crowd here this afternoon. 39,977. Just over 33,000 last night.
Twins drew well when the Brewers were in Minnesota. This one popped up on the left field line and back into the seats. When you see crowds like this is an otherwise lost season for the Brewers, but their tickets sold during this weekend series might be the biggest crowds they have for the rest of the year, other than maybe when the Cubs come up here. But you can understand why, from a marketing standpoint, interleague play still has a lot of value. 2-2 to Lind. And into left field. Santana, the only infielder on that side of the infield. Lind lines a single, and that'll get Ramirez to the plate as the tying run.
Another good at bat by Adam Lind. He picked up a couple hits in last night's ball game, just taking that pitch the other way. Doesn't try to do too much with it.
Pulled the ball with authority into right field, where Dozier was waiting in that big 6th inning at bat. Here's Ramirez, hit a home run last night, 0 for 3 today. Popped up, short center. Dozier backpedaling, and Rosario calls him off to end the inning. A good 8th for Casey Fiend, and the Twins take a 2-run lead to the 9th. Have won the ball games, and here's our Grand Casino story of the game.
Well, the Brewers took an early 1-0 lead in the 4th inning, but here comes the Twins' muscle. Eduardo Escobar with a big 3-run home run in the 5th inning. That gave the Twins a 3-1 lead, and then in the 6th inning, top of the 6th, Torrey Hunter with a solo home run. His 9th of the year made it a 4-1 lead. Brewers added one more in the bottom of the 7th. And going to the top of the 9th inning, Twins up by a couple.
Torrey Hunter, Chris Herman, Eduardo Escobar will hit, and the pitcher's spot would be due up. Would like to add on another run or more here. Knebel coming out of the Milwaukee bullpen. He was with the Tigers a little while last year.
Corey Knebel started the season down in AAA and then called up on May 18th. He made 8 relief appearances last year for the Tigers out of their bullpen.
Hunter takes a strike at the knees. Hit high and deep to center. Gomez going back. Hunter has another one. 3 extra base hits in a row for Torrey Hunter.
There's that insurance run. Back-to-back home runs for Torrey Hunter. In the 6th. Now here leading off the 9th. And the Twins take a 3-run lead. Breaking ball, and Torrey straightaway center. Hit off the batter's eye. Home run number 10 on the year for Torrey.
All 5 runs produced by home run. Been a few years since Torrey's hit 2 in a game. Herman with a big swing and a miss. Twins have hit 5 home runs in this series. 2 last night in the game they lost. And Herman called out on strikes. 1 down.
3rd home run that Knebel has given up out of that bullpen. And now 19 innings pitched.
Escobar will bat, and then Shane Robinson will hit. Up and away, ball 1. Down the line into the seats, 1-1. Now it's a save situation for Perkins, a 3-run lead. He's getting loose. Hasn't had many save opportunities as of late.
I think it's been about 10 days between appearances for Perkins to get a save. His last save came against the Cardinals at home on the 17th.
Liner right to Jeanette, 2 down. And that'll bring up Robinson.
Robinson started in center field in last night's ball game, went 0 for 4.
Twins haven't done much in the pinch hitting department this year. And as they look forward to, they hope, a second half where they're in contention, playing meaningful games, all of that. That might be an area where the Twins will address a need. Just 2 hits in 26 pinch hitting at bats.
Yeah, Shane has 1 of those 2 hits. He's 1 for 1 as a pinch hitter.
Only 2 runs batted in by the pinch hitters. Herman's 2-run triple that he got very early in the season. 2-1. Fouled away.
Knebel only 23 years old. He was a Tigers' #1 pick back in 2013, just a couple of years ago at the University of Texas.
And spun foul down the right field line. Fly left center field. Gomez running to the gap. The Twins have hit about 10 balls either to the edge of the track or onto the track. Glenn Perkins will try to save it for the Twins when we come back. Glenn Perkins on the mound looking for another save. pair of home runs, a 3-run lead for Glenn Perkins, pitching to Shane Peterson, who takes up high, ball 1.
Yeah, Perk making his 32nd relief appearance. It's been a week between mound appearances for Glenn Perkins. Last time he worked was last Saturday against the Cubs, 1 shutout inning. Remember, we had Perk on the air when we were, I believe, in Minnesota, when Perk was on good enough to be on the air with us, and we talked about sometimes, you know, guys don't pitch for a while. What does he do? He throws a little bit in between the non-appearance days, but a week, that's a long time.
Twins have 9 wins this month, 4 of them saved by Perkins, 23 on the year. And now 2-2. Last 3 Twins wins have been a walk-off win at home and a couple of wide open wins, so they haven't needed him. Shane Robinson staying in the game. He's taking over in left field. Peterson, Segura, and Jeanette, and then the pitcher spot would be due up. Punched to center. A lot of air underneath this one. And Rosario makes the catch, 1 away. And that'll bring up Segura.
Well, Joe Nathan, the all-time saves leader, and Glenn Perkins moving up the ladder, just 5 behind the bullpen coach now, Eddie Gordado.
Eddie made the All-Star team in 2002 when the All-Star game was played here in Milwaukee. Segura with a single his last time up. Just missed the inside corner, ball 1.
Yeah, Glenn Perkins made the All-Star team the last 2 years. Should make it again this year.
2-0. A liner to Santana, 2 down. Time now for What's Next, brought to you by CenturyLink. Tommy Malone will make the start tomorrow afternoon against Mike Fiers. Twins hope to take the series 2-1 and then head to Cincinnati.
Yeah, Malone has a couple good outings against the Brewers in his career, and the Twins saw Mike Fiers in Minnesota making his 2nd start. He lost 2-0 to Mike Pelfrey in Minnesota.
Jeanette taps it to first. That's about as easy a save opportunity as Perkins is going to get. 3 up, 3 down, protecting a 3-run lead. And the Twins even this series at a game apiece. Tom Hanneman, this was an important game for the Twins. Paul Molitor said today that last night's lopsided loss, stung the Twins a little bit. And they came back with a really good ball game here today.
Man, baby.